Thank you again. Hi, good afternoon. Making it matter. I think a lot of you do the same as I do when somebody asks, how are you doing? I say, yeah, good. And then 2 seconds afterwards say, busy. I'm always busy. I think here a lot of people are always busy. And being busy is not that bad, but I think a couple of years ago I decided for myself, if I'm busy, it needs to matter. And how do you decide when something matters? Well, the question is, will it still matter when I'm 80 and I look back? And I think what we're working on today in this room, and where everybody in this room is working on, either being an investor or being in a startup, it matters. It will matter. Because when we're 80 and we look back, we want to see a different world than the world that we see today. It needs to be greener. It needs to be more sustainable. And that's why it matters, and that's why I don't mind being busy. So, Eneco, over 3,000 people working for over 3 million customers, mainly in the Netherlands, but active in 5 countries by now. You may have noticed some of the recent news, our partnership with Lichtblick in Germany, our acquisition of Eni's business in Belgium, so still expanding internationally. Renewable assets. I think also we were one of the first. I mean, right now it's very common, right? Being renewable. If you're a utility, an energy company, it makes so much sense. Nobody says anymore, oh, you know, green or renewable energy. Why would you? We were one of the first in 2007 who actually already said that and saw that. And it's been a bit of a struggle the first years, but we were right, and we believe that we're not there yet. So that's why I come to the last point, and that's why I'm here. Innovative products and services, because investing in renewable energy, in wind, in solar, it's not enough. The world is changing, and we need to change with it. So this is how we view the energy system evolving, and I'm not going through the entire picture, because I think a lot of the stories we hear today already make this very clear. We believe in a system that will be decentralized, where assets are not one central plant anymore, and that means a lot for our role, for your role, for new business models evolving, new parties appearing in the system, but also parties disappearing in the system. So why does this matter to us? Because we're also a company, and we want to be a company and still there in 100 years, because we already exist for over 100 years. And our current business model, that's one of the things that we see changing. And our current earnings model is one that we see disappearing. But we see great opportunities for what will come to replace it. So instead of central generation, we don't see that much value anymore in just distributing a commodity as gas or electricity. But we do see a lot of value in the future in balancing the grid and making sure that this abundance of energy at certain points in time will be used effectively and efficiently, and will also not cause problems. And that if there's no wind or no solar at a certain point in time, we need to solve that issue as well. And also the roles that we play right now, so our trading floor, it will change. Technologies such as blockchain, such as P2P, we need to make sure that we are on top of that development and remain relevant in the system. So what do we focus on with Eneco Smart Energy? And that's the business unit that focuses basically on these new developments, both internally and externally. 4 platforms. Smart Home, one that we probably most well known of. Thank you, Rocket Home, for already mentioning Tone, which we feel is indeed a best practice, and our smart home device at this point in time. But that's not the only thing that we do in the area of smart home. So we have Roamlatag, which is, I think, a very valuable cooperation, and we see the great cooperation that can evolve between a corporate, Eneco, who needs a very effective and cost-effective distribution platform for its device, Tone. And so we gave Roamlatag, which is a platform for easy at-home installation work. We gave them really a set of basically into their business model, but they can do much more than only installing Tone. They can install telecom devices as well. So they're open for other partners, but we were the first one, so we really gave them a push basically into this business model. We have CrowdNet, which is a basically VPP or virtual power plant, SWARM, whatever the word you want to use, but we combine home batteries, playing the grid with it, monetizing the flex value that's in the power wall which we use right now, and by that, we increase the business case from basically non-existent as it is under the current Dutch regulations to a very profitable business case to actually acquire, already purchasing now, a storage device in the Netherlands. E-mobility, big trend, one that we see evolving, I think, in every country by now in Europe, at different paces, but where we really believe in. Jetlix is one that uses these batteries in the cars, again, to use the flexibility, get the money out of it, and make sure that this enormous capacity that we're creating of batteries throughout Europe is being used in more ways than just transporting us from A to B. Smart buildings, one where we have our own initiatives in Eco Building Manager, but where we also cooperate with one of our investments, Cymex, which provides a platform that pulls the data out of the building management systems that are already in place, but are often not using all the data that's there and translate it to actually data that can be used to provide insight, energy savings, but also create more comfort for those who actually work in the building. And the last one, smart outdoor, for us really the future. Smart cities. So we have our first pilot case right now in The Hague, where we use streetlights, smart connected streetlights, to basically make a broader platform that can do more than just control the lighting, but you can think of air quality, you can think of security, etc. So these are the areas that we find important. Why should this matter to you? Because we're not doing this alone. We really believe that with partnerships, we can do much more, much faster. How do we approach this? Well, first of all, business development, because it's more about the content than the form. So we're not just looking out there and saying, okay, we're looking for investments, and then we go and find what we're actually going to do with these companies. It's the other way around. So we look for companies where we see a click, a connection. We feel that we see the world in the same way, and we see opportunities to work together. So for early stage startups, we're very open to look at pilots, to look at their technology, to see whether we can apply it, can test it, can learn from each other, and support them to a level where we could potentially invest in them. And that's the venturing part. We do co-investments. We do typically, well, to be honest, we're a strategic investor, so we don't have a typical deal size, but I think from a couple million up into, well, we can go quite far in the double digit. But there again, it's not the form, it's more the content. So if we really believe in a company and we see that they can scale and we see that we can feel, we feel that we can play a relevant role there, that's when we like to invest, when we can provide access to our customer base, we can access to our knowledge, when we can use the product ourselves and really give them a lift off in this market and scale them up further. So what's new this year? Our investment in Onzo, a smart data analytics company in the UK, very proud of our cooperation and very proud of our cooperation also together with our consumer business unit and with Tone. But that's not what I'm most proud of today. That's because today I'm very, very proud to announce that we just made our most recent investment in Next Kraftwerke, which for us is really a symbol of where utilities are going to evolve towards, who offer their customers not just access to the energy markets, but really optimize, use technology, use data, and optimize that to get the best out of trading, the best out of ancillary services. If you can manage the grid with an asset, you manage the grid with it. If not, you can trade it on another market. If not, you can provide just access and, to energy markets and just sell the electricity. So basically, they use everything we have today in terms of technology, data, connect assets to this, and offer their customers the best they can have in this world of various energy markets. Very proud to announce this cooperation and very proud to be able to assist them in a further international expansion, which we believe will be quite successful. So, thank you.
We take a photo.
We take a photo. We take a photo.
Yeah.
To go back.
Can we have back this second last slide of this presentation? Good. Yeah. Energy? Okay, more energy, yeah?